Hello everyone, welcome to beautiful Monza, Italy. We're playing Assetto Corsa Competizione. Today we're driving this beautiful Ferrari 480 GT3. Now starting the race from P10, very important to have a clean, safe start as you dive into the very tight first chicane. If you get a good clean exit into the Curva Grande like we did here, we can make a few moves, but we're cut off by the Aston Martin Vantage. Here we try to move into the outside, but he blocks us off, so we go to the opposite side and we barely keep it inside the circuit. We keep the car stable as best as we can and we complete the overtake onto the outside. We're now in P8. This is just a lovely shot of beautiful GT3 cars. Top speed into the Ascari chicane here in Monza. Can you name a much more beautiful sight? Now on to the start-finish straight. This shows you how important it is to stay right behind the cars in front because you're gonna need that slipstream. Top speed and momentum here in Monza essential to stay into the race. If you get dropped by the cars in front, it's gonna be a very difficult way back as you do not have the benefit of the slipstream working for you. Now coming out of the Ascari chicane into the back straight, we can see the Ferrari in front of us trying desperately to overtake the BMW. He tries an unusual overtake onto the outside in Parabolica, which kills his exit into the start-finish straight. His top speed is going to be very compromised and it's going to be very slow, but since we're out of the slipstream, we're a long way from the toe, we cannot take advantage of it. And he tries to look into the outside for an overtake into turn 1, but he can't, he's too far. We also try to take a look, but again, we're far back as well. But who has the better exit? Who has the better straight line speed into the Curva Grande? This is where the slipstream and the toe gives the attacker a big advantage. We swing over to the outside out of the Curva Grande for a textbook overtake into the inside in Monza's second chicane. A move you've seen a million times over the decade, replicated here in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're up to P7. Now, since GT3 cars are very balanced, give all cars equal advantages, this is where bigger cars like the Nissan, the Bentley, and this BMW in front of us has a top speed advantage over the smaller cars like the Ferrari. The bigger they are, the bigger slipstream that you can get from them. You can really take advantage and pull off the overtake. We're side by side as we dive into turn 1, and he's too compromised into the first chicane. We have a better exit into the Curva Grande. We're up to P6. Now we're hunting the Aston Martin and the Porsche 911 GT3. Again, it's a desperate fight to stay in the slipstream. Get that toe, that's very essential here in Monza. Look at the Aston Martin and the Porsche pull away from us, even if we get a good exit out of turn 1. Now, we're tucked right behind the Porsche as we exit the Lesmos. Now we get the slipstream. Now we get the advantage. We go 3 wide as we approach Ascari. The circuit is too tight and the Porsche is stuck right onto the inside, and we'll make a pass into Ascari chicane. We're up to P5. This is where you want to be patient. This is where you study your next move. Find out where your opponent is strong, where is he the weakest, what sections you can overtake him. Avoid being stupid. Don't make an idiotic pass onto the inside, but we're doing it right now, and we hit the Aston Martin and he dives back into the circuit, and luckily he doesn't take us out. That was an inexperienced and immature move on our part, and the race stewards classify it as a racing incident, which it is clearly not. We're down to P5 as we head over to the Ascari chicane. As you can see, the Ferrari has taken a bit of damage and it has surely affected its pace. It surely affected its performance. Now it's going to be very difficult to close back up and regain the position from that Porsche. This is where you just have to do it, lap by lap, corner by corner, to chip away at the gap, to try to close in, because you know, once you get close to that slipstream, once you get into that clean air, you have the advantage to overtake and make the pass. Now that you are in the slipstream, you can get close. You can stay right behind the car in front. But if you make mistake, you're gonna throw it all away like we do here, and we're gonna have to do it all over again. Now, 2 laps to go. We close right back up to this Porsche. We're tucked right onto the rear of the green 911. As we drive into the Parabolica, we try to keep as tight a line as possible so that we can get a good exit into the start-finish straight. Take advantage of that horsepower, take advantage of that slipstream, and we go for the pass onto the inside. Side by side with the Porsche, as we cross the line, block all of the overtaking opportunities, and we have P4. 2 laps to go. So despite starting from P10, working our way back up, pulling off overtakes against strong cars, clean, precise, except for that move onto the Aston Martin, it was a good race from P10 to P4. We go around into the Parabolica for the last time and we take a well-earned, well-deserved P4 in front of the Tifosi here in Monza, Italy.